and you're welcome once again to the 10 lesson series on my book, Evolving 40 Life Lessons at 40. Yes, thank you for joining if you've been joining. And if this is your first time of joining, let me just remind you, because I can see people have been asking, where can I get the book? The book is already on Amazon in both Kindle format and paper book. And the book is also on Seller. The links are in below description. And if you buy this book, between April 19 and April 24, 2022, you actually have access to 2 bonuses. Who doesn't like bonus? So there are 2 bonuses if you buy within this time frame. You actually have access to a free read of my other book, My Dad, and you also have access to my goal setting template, which is actually a template that will help you in taking action on one of the lessons in this book. Yeah, so go for it. Go get it now. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so to today's lesson. So today we are looking at another very important lesson out of the 40 lessons in this book. Who can guess? So today we're looking at lesson 15. Lesson 15. And lesson 15 talks about run your own race. Run your own race. Yeah, let me say that again. Run your own race. Yes, run yours, not someone else's race. Let me read the first paragraph. It says, don't copy or envy anyone because you are not going to the same place. And that someone is on the same path with you does not mean you are headed for the same destination. Don't compare yourself with anyone. Let me give this story. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it's something like this. Someone was having a morning jog and somebody else was in front of her, and the guy was jogging and she was jogging too, and she was being motivated by the fact that the person ahead of her was doing a good jog, and that was giving her motivation and inspiration. She just kept jogging in the same direction the person was going, and at the end of the day she just got to a point and realized the person just opened the gate and got into his house. Wow, that was when it dawned on her that she's been following someone that was taking a route that led to his own house. And at that point, I think she was already far away from her own house. So the fact that you and someone are on the same path does not mean you are going to the same destination. Run your own race. Run your race. Don't try to impress anyone. Just live your life. Don't try to impress people. Don't be peer pressured into doing what you shouldn't do. Run your race. Yes, run your own race. Another part here says, run your own race and focus on your focus. You are not permitted to compare yourself with anybody else. You're only permitted to compare yourself with yourself. Meaning you can compare yourself of yesterday with yourself of today to see if you are making progress. Yes, that's the only comparison that is allowed. For you to compare yourself of yesterday with yourself of today in a bid to ensure that you're making progress, to ensure that you're getting better, to ensure that you're evolving. That's the only comparison that is allowed. Comparison between you and you. But comparing yourself with somebody else is a no-no. That's why no two humans have the same fingerprints. Because that's how God has just created the world. Everybody is unique in his or her own stead. So become comfortable in your skin. Don't try to become somebody else. That's being shallow-minded, wanting to become somebody else. No, you are good by yourself. That's what we talked about on the first day. You are good enough. Don't try to become somebody else. It's an abuse on your personality trying to become somebody else. No, you're good enough. You can be inspired by somebody else. You can be motivated by what somebody else is doing. You can be encouraged, but don't want to become somebody else, because the best you can ever be is you. All you need to do is to evolve into a better version of you. You can keep evolving into a better version of you, but don't ever compare yourself with someone else to the point that you want to become that person. You are good by yourself. No comparison is allowed. You're good by yourself. Stop comparing yourself with anybody else. Focus on your focus. Yes, focus on your focus. And don't compare yourself with anybody else, no matter how good you think the person is. Comparing yourself with somebody else will actually lead to one of two things. It can lead to envy. Because you now begin to be envious of the person because you want to be like the person. So you begin to, try to do everything the person is doing. But the funny thing is, you can never be a better version of somebody else. You can only become a better version of you. You can't be better than somebody else as that person. But you can evolve and become a better version of you. And if it doesn't breed envy, or after breeding envy, I now aspire and try to become that person. I swear that you can't become that person because that is not you. It can also now lead to resentment because you now start resenting the person. Like, is she the only one? Does she think she's the best person? Does she think she's even good enough? You start resenting the person because you are aspiring to be the person, but you can't be that person. So the best version you can be is to be a better version of you. Trying to become someone else is living beneath what you have been made to be. So stop that rat race and focus on your focus while you're running your own race. Thank you for joining again today. Tomorrow is the last day. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you and keep evolving.